question is to John Pearce. From your reaction to what John Darwin said, am I correct in thinking that you don't agree with him when he stated that that law can only be a creation or a human creation? And if so, is that a terminological disagreement or is it a substantive disagreement? If it's a substantive disagreement, could you elaborate on that?
Well, I don't know whether, I was exploring, but the exploration didn't reach its end, I think, whether it was terminological or substantive. Because I had already put forward the position as, aquinas that all human law is positive law, but of course that was understood also as compatible with the thought that all human positive law is of two broad kinds, and one part is purely positive and the other part is not only positive but also, if you like, natural or jus gentium or so part of the common standards of justice. And I'm not quite, whether my way of exploring that was the best way to try looking at the idea of contradiction, looking at the idea of positivity itself. Why should a judge ascribe significance to this kind of legislative fact in the past? Now, in the present, it's such a superstition for Bentham to think that because somebody has issued a command, somehow there's signed a character of volition, that therefore anything that follows about what anybody ought to do. But that sort of gap in the explanation is easily surmounted if we think, that person's having said so in the past should count for me because it's a way of us all going forward together. We can all refer ourselves to that stable point in the past without going into moral argument. We've all got a moral reason for using that as a criterion for judgment now. So that, as it were, a piece of little elementary political moral thought which is available to everyone, and I think used by pretty much everyone who has any use for the idea of law, gives us an explanation of the positivity of law. But that thought, of course, is not made by anybody. It's found by everybody. Everybody finds out how useful and convenient and useful in particular for promoting justice and peace and so forth, to do that sort of thing. So in that sense it's not made but found, and similarly with many other principles such as the required rights ought to be respected and the legitimate expectations ought to be respected and so forth. The people ought to be paid head wages and that judges should decide according to law rather than according to whim and so forth. All these, of course, can be found out there in the books, and so they are, in that sense, made and positive, but that's not the most interesting fact about them. The most interesting fact is that they are available to any community that didn't have them in its books, because the books had all been burned and smashed up in a condition of anarchy. They're available to any community to get back on the road to law, and it's a stable, attractive road, and that's why we have the big general phenomenon of law sort of everywhere.